Canata at this stage. He's in a very strong position to do so. But again, teching up, he needs to be very, very careful to not get run over just by pure supply, and putting up some it looks like creating kind of that anti-force. He just needs to keep the comm sets up, specifically on Canata's dropship force, and keep an eye on them and make sure that he knows where they're headed, and make sure he doesn't get basically kind of raked over and pushed across the middle. Now the battle cruisers, it looks like the fourth one going up, so 4 battle cruisers going to be coming out momentarily. So Canata's window for attack is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I think Frozean is going to be able to pull this off, honestly, the way things are looking right now. Looks like that's the base. I thought that base actually was up Frozean, but it looks like he's just going to hold it. And actually, I would say that upper right-hand base quite a bit vulnerable. I know it would be extremely risky and you just get counter-drop, but Frozean might try to go for a gambit and try to just push to that upper right-hand base. Doesn't look like he's doing so. A lot of troops on the ground. Another dropship being produced there by Canata. And I think Canata has... I think the opportunity is gone. I think the battle cruisers are going to be out momentarily, at least the initial battle cruisers, and I don't think there's enough Goliaths on the ground otherwise. So I think Frozean has managed to pull the tech shift off, and I think as a result he's going to come away with this game. And this is what I was talking about again, looking bad, I would say, looking somewhat lackluster in his last match, but looking excellent in this match. But Canata, there's the push. So here comes the push. Huge attack force running in. The question is how much territory will he be able to take, and will he be able to do enough damage to slow this down? Looks like there's still the counter dropship force in position. I think that... Is that level 3 weapons? Yeah, he went with level 3 weapons. I'm not sure if that's a mistake or not, but going with level 3 weapons, I guess just to rely on splash damage on clump troops to do additional damage, but they're the battle cruiser, that first battle cruiser out. So it looks like at the very least Canata's managed to establish an additional base to isolate at least one base out. Frozean's still going to have a decent-sized economy to pull away with this, though. He just needs to back that off and not lose any more territory on top of this. He's still got a lot of gas. As you can see, there's the battle cruisers getting more starports down. Level 1 weapons upgraded across the board there. And I don't think there's enough Goliaths on the ground. That's only 3 Goliaths, and it looks like he's just going to leave that command center to die, which might hurt him supply-wise, actually. Battle cruisers, again, very heavy in the supply category, and command centers, that's a good, 10 supply right there that you just lost. But still, I don't think he's too worried about it. Canata's still significantly economically behind. There's another large dropship force, so this is going to be the key right here, is what Canata does specifically with that dropship force right there, where he goes if he can do a significant enough blow, and I think he's got to go straight for the starports to do it. I think he's got to drop on this bottom left-hand base right on top of the battle cruisers and just have enough Goliaths to get it done. Because battle cruisers are slow. They're not very good at responding across the middle of the map, and he needs to do it quickly because the battle cruiser force is building. He's got some established position here. It doesn't even look like he's bothering taking any additional command centers. He's just keeping that troop count high. And now a counter attack, it looks like, yeah, a counter attack force of Frozean's already out in the field. A single Goliath being dropped right there. I think that's just going to be an exploratory Goliath here, just to try to see what's going on. Kind of a roaming attack force here from Frozean, and now starport's going down from Canata. He knows that it's going to be coming to him momentarily. He's going to have to go with Wraith rather than battle cruisers. I think this might be a little late at this stage. I don't know. I think he's going to be... I think he's got a lot of supply on the ground. Maybe he's going to expend a pretty big attack here. Now moving that command center out. I don't know that he's... keep in mind, Wraith are fairly mobile, and maybe he'll be able to pull it off. But I think Frozean's attack force is sizable enough where he's going to be able to run up with an attack, take a base out, and then it's just going to be too little too late. Huge drop on the main! Never mind. On that split screen, did not see it. But that right there is exactly what Canata needed to do. Huge drop on the main. And first of all, he's going to be able to take out stomp a lot of those factories, but more critically, he's going to be able to take out all those supply depots and that command center. And that is going to absolutely stymie this battle cruiser attack force. So Canata really doing the attack I think he needed to do here. So these tanks are for loss, but honestly that's supply you wanted to free up for Wraiths either way to deal with the battle cruisers. But now Frozean in a lot of trouble. He lost a ton of supply. He is so far in the red. But it looks like a counter drop happened. That command center is going to burn down for Canata in the meantime, so never mind. So trading blows here. I still, wow. So Frozean actually able to stop another base. So the main and the secondary probably hurt. Physics Lab actually going down for Canata as well. So, ooh, he's going to try to match this with battle cruisers. That's not going to happen. But Canata actually down to just, he's going to end up losing this match, I think, still, even with that beautiful drop, because losing that base and also not establishing that looks like dropships just pushing out, and that might just be to die, I assume, but also to check to see if that base was up. But losing that command center and not establishing any of that middle, yeah, he's just sending them out to die and kind of spot that attack force. Basically, I thought Canata was going to be able to take that middle base as well, but not taking that, he's just going to end up losing resources he cannot keep up at this stage. Level 2 weapons across the board for Frozean. That's his only producing base, and that's going to be his only producing base for quite some time. So Frozean can lose his main, reestablish some supply here, and he should be okay. And it looks like Canata knows it. I think this is going to be his suicide attack into the middle of the map. Frozean once again trying to establish another base right there, kind of why the cat's away. The one thing is even though tanks and Goliaths are slow, they're still mobile, and there's a lot of ground on this map, and Frozean's going to have to still keep those battlecruisers out in patrol. It looks like, careful, still can't throw your tanks away, but he's still got to keep, yeah, it looks like he's putting them exactly where he needs them in the middle there. A lot of Goliaths now down, so maybe a Goliath, looks like what Canata's plan is here is he wants to try to take down as many battlecruisers as he can with those Goliaths and try to make up the difference here. But again, the supply difference, I should say the pure resource macro difference is too huge, I think. It's going to take some amazing macro management on Canata's part, and I think you would need a science missile out in the air to really equalize it, because a couple well-placed Yamato, and I think that's going to be it for Canata. More battlecruisers being produced. Maybe Frozean had some hidden supply here. Maybe he's just re-establishing that position. Another dropship attack force group going out. Looks like some battlecruisers, although they're not upgraded at all, starting to push out now on the opposite end patrol. Now we're seeing them push forward, going to start picking away at those tanks. Dropships pushing forward. Needs to be very careful with those battlecruisers. Still needs to be careful with those battlecruisers. Still needs to be careful with that attack group in the middle. But again, Frozean playing a little bit passively here, and I think he can play the starvation game if he wants to, but honestly, playing against a player like Canata, I would want to just end it at this stage rather than starving him out. Looks like he's going to wait for a full control group. I said he didn't have a full control group at this stage. Again, maybe that's because of that supply difference, but he's got a pretty sizable attack force now. It looks like he's drawing them back. He could actually swing around, I would say, and go towards the main, and I don't know that Canata would really be able to do anything about it. And I think Frozean would be able to absorb any attacks that are coming. Looks like a bit of an engagement right there. Yamato to take out a couple of the tanks. Yeah, to take out a good amount of those tanks, and more tanks and it looks like he's just gonna do that tank battlecruiser push up the middle. Some more dropships running up. Needs to be careful, almost catching those battlecruisers out of position. And almost catching them out of position. Battlecruisers starting to wander back. Looks like they are going to push up for an attack to that 3 o'clock position, that upper 3 o'clock position. Just going to Yamato the turrets down. That is a full control group. Actually, almost looks like a control group and a half. Going to Yamato some of the tanks right there. It looks actually Yamatoing a Goliath. That last Goliath doesn't have a lot of health. And now Canata making a move. And Frozean leaving that base in the middle for Canata. Canata going to take it. Just going to take these turrets out one at a time, it looks like, with Yamato.